'cause there will be a time. Oh, oh.
Hey guys, and welcome on into another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends, free NHL picks. And it's a new year. It's 2024 now, the first show of the new year. So I want to wish everyone a happy new year to start the show off. No show yesterday. Of course, I did have the Seattle Kraken, and what a great game in the Winter Classic it was for the Kraken yesterday. And I posted a post on the YouTube channel regarding my spreadsheet, but I haven't really introduced it that much. But some days I'm going to be unable to do a show. And if people still want the information I have on the spreadsheet, all the player props, all the stats that I'm giving out for players that are playing well, that's on the spreadsheet. And as well, parlay pieces that I like, player props and stuff that I like for the slate. So if you want to know what I'm on or what I like on that day, and there's no show that day, or even if you want to know before the show is done, I do have that spreadsheet. The link is in the description below, so you can go check that out if you wish. But we'll jump into taking a look at the comments here. Good day, Terry. To you as well, Captain Bry. Happy New Year, Terry. Let's go. Yes, it's a new year. I'm ready. Sup, Terry? How's it going, Turnsy? Hope all is well. And go Red Wings today. We'll get to that game, obviously, at the end of the slate. But I like them to score some goals today for sure. Happy New Year, Terry, and everyone. To you as well, Crystal. Hope all is well. We meet again. ... Hello, Mr. Earl. But we're going to jump right into today's slate. We have 13 games to talk about today, and we will do that here with the first game of the night, which is between the Boston Bruins and the Columbus Blue Jackets. Boston, minus 220 to minus 250. Columbus, plus 190 to plus 204. 6.5s right across the board here in this game. Looking at goaltenders for this one, Spencer Mårten is confirmed for Columbus. So they are not going with Elvis or Sleekins. And unconfirmed is Linus Ullmark for Boston in this game. And this one's tough when it comes from a side or total perspective. I do like Boston to win this game, minus 220 favorites. So I would potentially use that as a parlay piece. But I don't know if Boston wins this game by margin. Columbus has gone to overtime in 4 of their last 5 games. And they're a scrappy team. Yes, they're losing once they get to overtime, but they're keeping games close. And I just don't feel comfortable taking Boston on the puck line in this one. But looking at this game as a whole, Adam Fantilli has been playing really well for the Columbus Blue Jackets. You can get him at plus 120 to get a point. The player that plays with him on the top line with Johnny Gaudreau, Justin Danforth, he also has a point in 4 straight games. I believe you can get him for a point, or plus 130. So I like both players to get a point. I have Fantilli here as my official play. And then looking at player props for Boston, Pastrnak is a point in 4 straight games. A good parlay piece there. 3+ shots on goal, 10 of his last 11. And Brad Marchand and Charlie McAvoy both have an assist in 4 straight games for the Boston Bruins, who are on a 3-game winning streak. And they are looking much more like the Boston team that we've seen earlier on in the year. So I could see Boston winning this game by 2. I could see them having a good performance, but I could also see this game going to overtime. So that's why I'm just sticking with Fantilli point here. And then the parlay pieces I mentioned for player props. Happy New Year, Terry. I am trying very hard not to say anything negative about Ryan Hartman today. Oh, well, I actually have comments about Ryan Hartman, but not negative ones. But yeah, Bruins minus 1.5, Pastrnak over 1.5 points. Boston Columbus draw plus 350. Columbus is no stranger to overtime, 3 in a row for their last 5, and Boston has been a decent overtime team too. Seems like a sneaky Columbus spot here too. Yeah, I could see that happening. I could definitely see that happening. Bruins power play 27%, Columbus 15%. Yeah, that's no big surprise. Columbus hasn't really been an offensive juggernaut. I don't know if I skipped your comment or not, but you like Pastrnak over 1.5 points and Bruins on the puck line. Fernando also likes Bruins on the puck line, and yeah, I can see that happening. I can. I just don't feel confident. I could see it either or happening over 6.5. Yeah, I could see goals. Spencer Mårten starting for Columbus. He has not been good this year overall. 3-7-1 with a 3.61 goals against average, 889 save percentage. So Mårten has struggled for Columbus. But we'll head along into the second game here, which is between the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Rangers. Carolina plus 105 to plus 119. New York Rangers minus 120 to minus 125. Sixes. I do see 5.5s available as well. Pinnacle power play. So if you are looking at the over, you can get a 5.5 in this game. Looking at goaltenders here, no big surprise. Igor Shesterkin is likely for the New York Rangers. Pyotr Kochetkov is likely for the Carolina Hurricanes, and pretty even numbers. Goals against average 2.61 for Kochetkov, 2.69 for Shesterkin, 911 save percentage for Shesterkin, 900 save percentage for Kochetkov. And Shesterkin has started to heat up. And that's bad news for opponents of the New York Rangers. He's given up 2 or fewer goals in 4 straight games, a 946 save percentage. He has been excellent for the New York Rangers. And looking at previous meetings between the teams, the Rangers 8-2 in the last 10 meetings between the teams. They've had a lot of success against this Carolina Hurricanes team recently. And I'm getting the Rangers at home here at a great price, and that's where I went here, minus 113 for the New York Rangers on the money line here. Carolina's starting to play better as well, but with Igor Shesterkin heating up and this Rangers team dominating Carolina in the past, I do like the Rangers here. For Carolina, Sebastian Aho and Andrei Svechnikov both have points in 4 straight games. So they are lighting up the score sheet for the Hurricanes. And for the New York Rangers, Zibanejad, 10 straight games now with a point. He's been on a heater. Chris Kreider, also 6 straight games with a point. Artemi Panarin has a goal in 4 straight games. So Panarin is finding the back of the net for the Rangers in this one. Happy New Year, Terry. Let's win. Yes. Started off with a Kraken winner yesterday, hoping to keep it going here today. Rangers minus 120, disrespectful price here on New York Rangers. If I'm falling for a trap, so be it. I don't necessarily think it's a trap. Carolina has came into this year projected to be a Stanley Cup contender, projected to be fighting the Devils for number 1 in the division. And they've started to play. They've been playing not too bad recently, so I think the game's priced correctly. Canes plus 105, Svechnikov over half a point. He's a beast. Aho half a point. He's on a heater. Yes, I like both Canes players for points, but against stay on the Canes money line. Igor over 28.5 saves. All right, all right. Really, I don't get into the goalie props too much. Um, Not my thing, but everyone has different things they like to bet. So, for those who like the previous history stats, Rangers have dominated the Canes 8-2 in the last 10. I did not already mention that twice. Rangers money line, says Kev. Yes, I like it. Kane's second line needs to score more goals. Yeah, you need to have depth throughout the lineup. Mårten Necas has can't find him with the telescope on the ice, and lately, and he was having such a great season. But players go through funks, definitely for sure. As a bandage at point parlay piece, yeah, he just continues to roll. And even in the last game where it didn't look like he was going to get a point, he got one late to continue his point streak. So I definitely like that, Captain Bry. Moving on along to our next game here, which is between the Washington Capitals and Pittsburgh Penguins here. Washington plus 145 to plus 159. Pittsburgh minus 175 to minus 185. Sixes right across the board here in this game. Confirmed goalies for this one: Darcy Kemper, 8-8-2, 3.16 goals against average, 892 save percentage for Washington against Tristan Jarry, who's 11-11-2, but a 2.46 goals against average, 916 save percentage. And this Penguins team is heating up recently, playing pretty good hockey recently. 3-0-1 in the last 4 meetings between the teams. Of course, these teams being big divisional rivals over the years. Washington has lost 4 straight games. 2-1 shootout loss to the Tampa Bay, 5-1 loss to both New York teams, and then a 3-2 shootout loss against Nashville. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh, like I said, 7-1-1 in their last 9. So here comes the Penguins, who have allowed 3 goals total over their last 3 games. 2 games against the Islanders and a game against the St. Louis Blues. For me here, I can't get to anything in this game when it comes to a side or total, when it comes to single plays. I like Pittsburgh to win this game, but minus 175, I can't play that singly. Do I want to go with Pittsburgh in regulation? Not really. These teams, maybe not so much recently going to overtime, but in the past, definitely this series has been an overtime series. So I don't feel comfortable taking either side. I'm not on the draw in this one, but I could see this going to overtime. Looking at player props here for Washington, nobody. Washington is not scoring much right now, and there's just nobody when it comes to player props that's really on that much of a streak. For Pittsburgh, Gensel and Crosby both have points in 4 of their last 6 games. Both did not have a point in their last game, and it's very rare for either player to go 2 games in a row without a point. So I do like Gensel and Crosby to get points here. Getting Malkin has a point in 7 of his last 10 games for Pittsburgh as well in this one. Pens -1. Darcy is a fade. Yeah. Just Washington hasn't been a good fit for him. It just hasn't. Under 6? Yeah. I could see that with the way Washington's offense has been like recently. It would only be a look to the under. Good day, Terry. Keep up the great show. Thanks, Tommy. Much appreciated. Brian Russ might be back. Yes, I heard he is back today. Stats say good spot for shot props on Pittsburgh side, but then there's a John Carlson milestone. Oh, good information there. Anytime assist, 500 games played. Um, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I don't have anything for Washington. But I could see that with his 500 game. Washington minus 18 goal differential. Yeah, not good overall. But we'll jump into the next game here, which is between the Chicago Blackhawks and the Nashville Predators here in this one. Chicago plus 220 to plus 238. Nashville minus 260 to minus 275. 6.5 right across the board here in this game. Um, Looking at this one here, past history, the Predators have absolutely owned Chicago for quite a few years now. 14, 1, and 2 in the last 17 meetings. So 14 wins, 1 regulation loss, 2 overtime losses for the Preds. The Blackhawks, 2-1 overtime win against Washington, 5-4 overtime loss against Dallas. And then in their last game, played like the Chicago we've seen most of the season, an 8-1 loss to the Dallas Stars. Nashville's gone to overtime in back-to-back games, 5-4 overtime loss to Detroit, and then a 3-2 shootout win against Washington. So looking at this game here, again, at this price, I'd have to go with Nashville in the puck line, which I just don't feel comfortable doing. Um, I know I say the word that's evil to some people, but the parlay word, I like Nashville money line as a parlay. There's a lot of games today where I like parlay pieces, but when it comes to single plays, I just can't get to anything, and that's this game. I like Nashville as a parlay piece. I just can't get to a side or total play here singly. For Chicago, Connor Bedard has a point in 6 of his last 7 games. For the Nashville Predators, Gustav Nyquist has a point in 5 straight games. What a great addition by the Nashville Predators. I said it throughout the beginning of the year. I really wish the Wild could have held on to Nyquist, but when he's healthy, he is a great top 6 forward, playing great on the top line with Ryan O'Reilly, who also has a point in 3 of his last 4 games. Philip Forsberg has at least 4 shots in goal in 4 of his last 5 games. Maybe not finding the score sheet as much as he'd like, but he is shooting the puck. So I'd look at Forsberg for shots, Riley and Nyquist for points. If you want someone for Chicago, it's Connor Bedard or nothing for the Blackhawks. Lean Hawks wanted Mrazek, not Soderblom. And thank you for reminding me to look at goaltenders here. Arvid Soderblom likely for the Blackhawks. UC Saros likely for the Nashville Predators. Predators puck line. If I was forced to make a side play, that's where I'd go. Tonight is okay. Yeah, I thought 500 games seemed a little bit low. Tonight is game 969. Oh, he's going for assist number 500. Okay. That makes more sense. Preds puck line, Forsberg goal, Forsberg over 1.5 points, and Yossi over 0.5 point. Best of luck, Robert. Best of luck. Forsberg over 3.5 shots on goal. Yeah, I like it, Captain Brian. I like it. Great spot for Nashville teaser, not a great spot for Nashville puck line. Yeah, that's why I like Nashville money line as a parlay piece, but nothing singly in this game. Moving on along to our next one here, which is between the Calgary Flames and the Minnesota Wild. Calgary minus 110 to minus 110. Minnesota minus 110 to plus 101. 6s right across the board here in this game. Of course, I don't have to look at who will be a net for this one because it will be Marc-Andre Fleury. The Winnipeg Jets decided that they needed to knock out Philip Gustafson. And then for the second year in a row, they decided they needed to injure Kirill Kaprizov. I won't get into that because it'll end up being a long rant that I just won't get into. But injuries happen to all teams. The Wild have been injury riddled for most of the season. It started with Spurgeon. in the preseason. Brodeen's missed a lot of time. Spurgeon's back after two um, two times being out. Zuccarello is still week to week. As I said, Kaprizov is now week to week. Philip Gustafson is week to week. The Wild are beat up. They're definitely beat up. Looking at their previous games, obviously back-to-back losses against the Winnipeg Jets um, in their last two games. 7-1 at home in the last 8, so they've had a lot of success at home um, since the coaching change here. Looking at this game, I can't take the Wild. I can't take the Wild, even at this great price, even though I really do think they bounce back at home. Um, I just can't take them here with how many injuries they have. I can't recommend other people to bet on them um, after the last two games. That being said, they probably end up winning this game because I'm not on them as a single bet. Will I have them in a parlay? You guys can probably guess. But looking at single bets in this game, Matt Boldy, anytime goal, plus 170. We saw it when the Jets injured Kaprizov last year. Matt Boldy went on a big scoring run. He has a goal in 3 of his last 5 games. Ryan Hartman has a goal in 4 of his last 5 games. I had Hartman in the last game against the Jets at plus 375. He scored. I was going nuts. And then, of course, it was this much offside, and the goal got taken away, which is always a heartbreaker. And I was extremely upset, but it is what it is. Going right back to Hartman here, has a goal in 4 of his last 5 games, and I do like him to find the back of the net here. Marcus Foligno has a goal in 3 of his last 4, but he is a game time decision for this game. So don't want to pull the trigger on Foligno because he is battling whatever kind of injury he is battling. But I will take Boldy. I will take Hartman here to find the back of the net. And I will have the Wild in a parlay, but I can understand why people would want to take the Flames here. This Wild team is beat up. Looking at the Flames, Blake Coleman has a point in 9 of his last 11. Kadri has a point in 4 of his last 5 and 9 of his last 12. So those are the Flames players I'd be looking at here if you wanted some Flames props. Ba, 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 ba. Flames money line. No Kaprizov, no Gus, no Hartman, no interest in Minnesota. I don't know why you're saying no Hartman. I don't know why, because he is playing. So don't know why you're saying that. Be honest about Calgary versus Minnesota matchup. This is a great spot to ride with Calgary, and I never ever say that. I don't know. I don't know. I still believe in the Wild. I still believe. I still believe in them. The Wild also 4-1-1 in the last 6 meetings between Calgary and Minnesota. 3 of the last 6 have gone to overtime, for what it's worth. Wild penalty kill 30%, Flames power play 29th. Okay, so pretty much even there. Don't forget it, Terry. No Kaprizov will hurt. Yes, it will. It will. And really hoping we see Boldy. Really hoping we see Boldy take off like he did last year when the Jets played some dirty hockey. Under 6, Flower also going for he's played in his 1000th game. With a win, Flower would tie Patrick Waugh. So we are on Flower watch to become the second highest win goaltender in NHL history. Don't do it. Wild win if it's in a we'll win it if it's in a shootout. Possibly. Goal in first 5 and goal in first 10. So you think there'll be goals? Probably. Okay, I'm glad you're honest. No Kirill is a serious problem. Calgary plays low scoring games and then decide to win it in the third period. Wish me luck. I'm on Calgary. Yeah, like I know Kaprizov is a huge part of this team, so you absolutely have to look at that. Um, just looking at what happened when, like I said, when Kaprizov was injured last year, the Wild kept going, and the Wild have been injury filled, still found ways to win. So I'm hoping they can win, but I'm not going to tell other people to bet them. Never mind, Hartman is only fine, not suspended. Yes, only a fine. Minnesota ranked number 1 in goals in first 5 at home. Calgary 2.5. Yes, the Wild usually come out strong in games. They've been scoring the first goal a lot. Flames plus National Parlay is plus 154. New year, new Terry. Best to you. Thanks, Aaron. Best of luck this year. Minnesota ranked number 2, goals in first 10 at home. Calgary 4.5. All right, all right. I'm still rooting for the Wild for you. Thanks, Captain Bry. We'll see. We'll see if they can respond. No Foligno. I don't know if he's officially out, but I know that he is a game time decision. So yeah, injuries. Wild to score first. They've been doing that a lot, so I could see that. But we'll move on along to our next game here, which is between Tampa Bay Lightning and the Winnipeg Jets. Tampa Bay plus 114, plus 125. Winnipeg minus 132 to minus 135. Sixes and 6.5s available in this game. Looking at this one here, Tampa Bay, the Lightning play so much better at home on the year. Overall, they've struggled on the road. They look like a different team on the road. And now they're coming here to face Winnipeg, a team that is just dominant. Tampa Bay 7-10-2 on the road. Winnipeg 12-5-2 at home. The Lightning have lost 6 of their last 9 road games, so they've definitely, as I said, struggled on the road, especially recently. Winnipeg 10-1-2 in their last 13 games, and beating good teams, not just bums. Beating good teams. They've won 4 of the last 5 games between the teams, and 4 of the last 5 games played in Winnipeg. The Jets have won. I like the Jets here. As much as it pains me to say that after the last couple of games watching the Winnipeg Jets, you have to put personal feelings aside, and from a betting perspective, and it has to be the Jets here for me. Money line minus 130 in this one. Looking at player props here. Oh, I forgot to mention in the Minnesota game last, Joel Eriksson, 3 shots on goal, which has been a go-to 5 of his last 6 games and 17 of his last 19 for Joel Eriksson. Looking at this game, Winnipeg is tough when it comes to player props. That top line has cooled off when it comes to scoring recently. But Nikolai Ehlers has at least 3 shots on goal and 9 of his last 10. So he continues to shoot the puck. So I would look at Ehlers' shots on goal prop. But nobody really stands out in Winnipeg for player props for me in this one. Kucherov has a goal in 5 of his last 6. Continues to have at least 3 shots on goal in 7 of his last 8. And Victor Hedman has an assist in 6 of his last 7 games. So I like more Tampa Bay props, but I like the Winnipeg Jets to finish out on top here in this game. Going to goaltenders here, I'm assuming that we will see Hellebuyck in net, which is correct, against Vasilevsky, which is correct. Both goaltenders likely in this one. Hellebuyck has just been dominant throughout the season here. Captain Bryce says Jets money line. I like it. I'm with you. I might consider Tampa team total under 2.5 plus money. That's interesting. Jets minus 135, better team at reasonable price. Have this game minus 155 to minus 160 range. Me and Nick agreeing again. Wow. It's a new year. And we agreed on the Kraken yesterday. Wow. It's a new year. Shocker. Tampa Bay money line, Kucherov over 1.5 points. Kucherov goal. I like the Kucherov goal. Not with you on the other two. I'm on Winnipeg. Their peak is near. I can't imagine Tampa loses I'm on Winnipeg. Their peak is near. Can't imagine Tampa Bay loses another one, but I got to roll Winnipeg minus 134. I agree. Painter Life likes Tampa as well, or he likes Tampa to win. Tampa 28% power play, Jets 26% penalty kill, or 26 penalty kill. All right, yeah, Tampa Bay has an elite power play for sure. Leading Jets money line and no Kyle Connor. Yeah, but they've been without Kyle Connor for a while, and it has not hurt them. They have not missed a beat without him. Yeah, exactly. Kyle's been gone for a while now, and they continue to win games. So I have to back the Winnipeg Jets here in this one. Going along to our next game here, which is between the Montreal Canadiens and the Dallas Stars. Montreal plus 240 to plus 255. Dallas minus 275 to minus 300. 6.5s right across the board here in this game. And the Stars, not a team we're going to find great prices with throughout the season, especially when they're facing a team like Montreal here. But Dallas Stars, not a team I love to run to go bet a puck line on. That's for sure. And this Montreal team has been scrappy recently. So not a team I want to bet a puck line against, really. So for me, no single plays here. Can't get to anything singly in this one. I do like player props. Mike Matheson, 3 player props for both teams. Mike Matheson has a point in 6 straight games for Montreal. Nick Suzuki has a point in 7 of his last 8. And Cole Caulfield has a point in 6 of his last 7 for the Montreal Canadiens. And for Dallas, it's that top line. Robertson and Hintz both have points in 6 straight games. Pavelski has a point in 5 of his last 6. So I like that top line, and I like Montreal's top line and top defenseman in this one. Looking at the previous meetings between the teams, Dallas 5-1 in the last 6. 4 of the last 5 have gone over 6.5. We have seen goals when these two teams face each other, and we've seen goals from both teams recently. Montreal coming off a 4-3 loss, 4-1 to Florida before that, 5-3 against Carolina, 5-2 against Chicago, 4-3 against Minnesota. They've been going over. The Stars 8-1 against the Blackhawks in their last game, 5-4 before that, a couple unders, and then a 4-3 game against Vancouver before that. So if I had to get to anything here, it would probably be looking at the over 6.5. But I'll stick with the player props in parlays. I do like Dallas money line as a parlay piece as well. I do think they win this game today. Yeah, no Connor, no problem. So far at least, yeah. Stars minus 1.5, minus 115. Habs money line and draw plus 350. Wedgwood should not be laying minus 300. I can see that. OT. You like OT? All right. Dallas minus 2.5. So Painter Life does not like OT. Not at all. I agree the OT numbers and value are undeniable. Plus 450. Wow. Rope Hintz feeling healthy and is going to be on a tear this month. Riding his shot and goal or point prop this month should be positive. Should produce positive game. Yeah, he's been on fire recently. And I know Richie, supporter of the show, is definitely making money on Rope Hintz. Hits, yeah. Robertson goal, Hintz over half a point. I like it. Stars penalty kill number 2. Yeah, they have a good one and a good power play as well. I believe the money line price needs to be around minus 500 for a minus 2. Yeah, and they're only around minus 300. So in this one, taking a look at our next game here, which is I should look at goalies for this one. I'm assuming it'll be Wedgwood. Yep, who's confirmed? Nobody confirmed for Montreal. And Nick says that Wedgwood shouldn't be minus 300. 11-2-2 with a 2.92 goals against average, 905 save percentage. So not horrible numbers, that's for sure in this one. But heading along to our next game here, which is between the Florida Panthers and the Arizona Coyotes here in this one. Florida minus 156 to minus 170. Arizona plus 135 to plus 150. Sixes right across the board here in this game. Karel Vegemelka confirmed for Arizona here in this one. Has won his last 4 games. He stopped 93 of the last 99 shots. And so Vegemelka is starting to play really well. Which is great news for the Coyotes. Sergei Bobrovsky most likely will play for Florida. And when I look at this game, if you've been watching the show, you know I've been betting on the Yotes, and I've been making money on this Yotes team, especially at home. They play really well at home, and I'm seeing this plus 150 price, and I really want to do it, but I don't want to bet against this Florida team right now. I really don't. They are on a 4-game winning streak, and they are beating good teams. Let me bring it up here. 10-7-2 on the road now this year. Okay, they beat Montreal 4-1, but they beat the Rangers 4-3, Tampa Bay 3-2, Vegas 4-2. The Coyotes 2-0 win against Anaheim, obviously beating Colorado, or losing to Colorado before that, beating San Jose, beating Ottawa. This one's tough when it comes to a side perspective. I do want to take the Yotes, but still going to go for that plus money, and I'm going to take the draw, plus 370. I think this is a very close game that goes to overtime. So I'll take the draw plus 370 here. And yeah, I'll root for the draw, and we'll see if the Yotes can get the win in overtime. Looking at player props here, Sam Reinhart has at least 3 shots on goal in 5 straight games for Florida. Carter Verhaeghe and Matthew Tkachuk both heating up for the Panthers on the second line. Both have points in 3 of their last 4 games. Kerfoot has a point in 5 of his last 6 for Arizona. Matthias Michelli has a point in 4 of his last 5, 9 of his last 11 games. And Lawson Krause has a goal for the Arizona Coyotes in 3 of his last 4 games. He's played really well recently for the Yotes. Florida and Reg. All right, I'm against you there, but yeah, best of luck. As much as I've been a big Florida backer, give me the Yotes plus 140 here. Yotes is a home dog. Sign me up. Yeah, I'm tempted, but I can't. I'm just going to take the draw here. Florida is so good, and don't mess with the Yotes wagon at home. I think I got to pass. That's how I feel, and that's why I took the draw. That's why I went with the draw here. Barkov over half a point. Yeah, that top line's cooled off in the last couple of games, but I can see why you'd go with him. Panthers are deeper than Colorado and have better goaltending than Colorado. That's for sure. I've been ignoring Arizona for a bit due to goalies. Is Veg back on the up and up? So bad for a while. Yeah, he's much better recently. In his last 4 games, he's been great. Kesselringer, anytime goal. Not spelled correctly, Mr. Earl, but yeah. Not available at my book, but a really good bargain bin play. 3 goals in his last 5 games. All right. At home, Arizona have won all 3 overtime games. Yeah, so they could probably get the job done if it does go to overtime. Yotes have a tough schedule the next 5. Yes, it's time to see if the Yotes are for real. We will definitely see over the upcoming stretch. But we'll move on along to our next one here, which is between the New York Islanders and the Colorado Avalanche. Islanders plus 145 to plus 154. Colorado minus 170 to minus 180. 6.5s. There are 6s available too as well in this game if you're interested in the total. Georgiev likely for Colorado. Nobody confirmed for the Islanders, but I believe Semyon Varlamov is still hurt. So it definitely should be the Islanders in this one. Colorado 5-1 in the last 6 meetings between the teams. 4 the last 5 have gone over 6.5. So we've seen very high scoring games between these teams recently. No single plays here for me in this one. I like Colorado to win this game, but I don't like them enough to go on the puck line in this one. Looking at player props for the Islanders, like Washington, nobody stands out. Horvat was on a heater. He's cooled off the last few games. Dobson's cooled off. Barzal's cooled off. Obviously, the Islanders playing Pittsburgh in 2 of those games did not help, as Pittsburgh's playing really well right now. So now they're facing Colorado, who they should be able to score against, but nobody for the Islanders here for me. Cal McCarr has at least 4 shots on goal in 5 straight games, 6 of his last 7. So I'd be looking at McCarr to get shots. Valerie Nichushkin has a point in 9 of his last 10 for the Avalanche. So he is lighting up the score sheet. McKinnon has an assist in 13 of his last 15 games. Obviously, his point streak ended there a couple of games ago, but got back on board in the last game. And I'd look for him to get an assist because that's what he usually does for the Avalanche. Owls plus 145 and draw plus 340. Line is too wide in this game. All right. Wings. Yeah, we're getting there real shortly. Wish New York Islanders could play Varlamov versus former team and Devontae's versus former team. Yeah, but unfortunately not. Rantanen goal. Rantanen over 1.5 points. McKinnon over 1.5 points. Best of luck. I bet Canada to win today. They were down 2-0. That was a heartbreaking loss. Yeah. Why Canada decided to leave out the leading point scorer in the WHL, future Wild center Riley Heidt, made no sense to me. Why they overlooked him, and obviously they could have used him in this series. Sweden and Swiss game on in 10 minutes, playing the under 6.5. All right. Best of luck. I'm cheering for Team Sweden, as Liam Ogren is on Team Sweden. Avs money line. Yes. I think Avs won this game. Avs money line should be a good parlay piece here in this one. Moving on along to our next game. We got 4 more left. Philadelphia Flyers, Edmonton Oilers. The Flyers plus 140 to plus 153. Edmonton minus 165 to minus 175. 6.5s right across the board here in this game. Is Philadelphia finally coming down to earth? That is my question here. They have now lost 4 of their last 5 games with only a win against Vancouver during that stretch. 4-2 loss to Nashville, 7-6 loss to Detroit, 2-1 loss against Seattle, and a 4-3 loss in their last game against Calgary. And they continue this 5-game road trip. Final game here in this one against the Oilers, a team that is heating up again. They had that 3-game losing streak after their 8-game winning streak, and they follow that up now with 5 straight wins. 6-3 against New Jersey, 4-3 against the Rangers, 5-0 against the Sharks, 3-2 shootout against the Kings, and a 7-2 win in their last game against the Anaheim Ducks. Looking at previous meetings between these teams, it's pretty even between Philadelphia and Edmonton. Nobody really has an advantage when it comes to actually winning the games. The last 4 meetings have all gone under 6.5. So we have seen lower scoring games in this one in previous history between these teams. For me, I'm going Draisaitl. Anytime goal, plus 130. I got it FanDuel. Draisaitl has been heating up. He had a cold stretch there, but he now has a goal in 5 of his last 6 games for the Edmonton Oilers. McDavid has an assist in 16 of his last 17, and Zach Hyman has a goal in 3 of his last 4. For the Flyers, Travis Konechny has a point in 6 of his last 7. So if you're looking for a Flyers player, I would look at Konechny. But I like the Oilers here. I just don't like the price. Again, minus 165, minus 175. A good parlay piece. A lot of parlay pieces today. Hard for me to pull the trigger on a lot of these games singly. Was Geeky suspended for legal check versus Germany? I'm not sure. Oilers money line, Flyers a 10% power play. Yeah, when it comes to power plays, completely different teams here. As Edmonton always has a deadly power play. Turnsey likes the Oilers to win by margin, and I can see that. With how they played recently. Moving on along to our next game here, which is between. Okay, there we go. Which is between the Ottawa Senators and the Vancouver Canucks here. In this one, Ottawa plus 120 to plus 129. Vancouver minus 143 to minus 150. 6.5s right across the board here in this game. Looking at this one, Vancouver 4-0-1 in the last 5 meetings between the teams. The last 6 meetings have all gone over 6.5. So we usually see high scoring games where these two teams face each other. And we've seen high scoring games from Ottawa recently as well. Ottawa 4-8-0 overall on the road. Canucks 13-4-1 at home. The Canucks coming off a loss to Philadelphia last year. Ottawa coming off a 5-1 win against the Buffalo Sabres. And overall, no single plays again in this one. I really do lean with the over. But I'm just not pulling the trigger because I know it's weird to say, but my gut's telling me this game ends 5-1. So I just have this feeling like this game could just barely stay under. So I'm not going to pull the trigger on the over. But I'll probably have the alternative over in a parlay. Looking at player props here, Brady Tkachuk has at least 3 shots on goal in 9 of his last 10 games. Drake Batherson has a point in 12 of his last 15 games. And for the Vancouver Canucks, Quinn Hughes has an assist in 4 straight games. Quinn Hughes is starting to heat up. So I would definitely look at his props. But again, it would have to be a parlay piece in this one. Can Ottawa make it 13 road goal in first 10 minutes in a row? Wow. So they're at 12. Looking to make it 13 on a 13-game NHL slate. Interesting. Are the Canucks for real? Well, are we past the halfway point? Not quite. We're almost at the halfway point. And they certainly look for real at this point. Elias Pettersson over 1.5 points. Besser goal, Pettersson goal, JT Miller point. Yeah, those are the guys you'd expect, but they've been inconsistent lately, so I'm sticking with Quinn Hughes. Staying away from the rest. Vancouver moneyline over 6.5. I do like both of those as parlay pieces. Although with the 6.5, I'd go with 5.5. I'm leaning over 6.5. All right. 42 people in the live chat. Thank you everyone for watching. Most we've had maybe ever. So thanks everyone. Forsberg and Demko can keep it under. Korpisalo cannot keep pucks out of the net. Exactly. Who believes the Sens have turned it around? I don't. I'm still looking to fade the Sens team. I don't believe they turn it around. No goaltenders have been confirmed here. Should be Demko, possibly against Korpisalo. So Demko is the reason I'm worried about the over in this game. I feel like Demko um, can keep it on just under in this one. Ottawa 32nd penalty kill, Vancouver 9th power play. Yeah, mismatch. Ottawa can certainly score 1 or 2 and then fizzle away. Yeah, I can see that. And Canucks money line and over 5.5 is plus 100 at Pinnacle, or plus something. Yeah, I like that. I do. I like Canucks to win, and I do like the over 5.5. Just not quite comfortable on the 6.5 in this one. Taking a look at our second last game of the night is the Toronto Maple Leafs and the LA Kings. Toronto plus 110 to plus 120. LA Kings minus 130 to minus 135. 6.5s right across the board here in this one. And this is a battle of two teams that are starting to cool off recently. Toronto sent Ilya Samsonov down to the minors and called up their goaltender from the minors. Not sure who will start exactly in this game. It is projected to be Martin Jones against Cam Talbot in this one. The Kings coming off a 3-2 shootout loss against Edmonton after a 3-2 loss against Vegas. Toronto, 4-2 loss against Ottawa, 6-5 overtime loss to Columbus, and then a 3-2 loss to the Hurricanes in their last game. Toronto 8-3-5 on the road overall, so they played pretty well on the road, and this Kings team also has played really well on the road. They're 7-6-4 at home. So what do you see from the 8-3-5 and the 7-6-4? Overtime. Toronto's going to overtime on the road. The Kings are going to overtime at home. Give me the draw here at plus 370 for a half unit. I think this game goes to overtime. Who wins? I have absolutely no idea. I think it's a coin flip. Who gets the lucky bounce in overtime will win. That's what I think. But I'll take the draw here in this one. Looking at player props, William Nylander has an assist in 10 of his last 11 games for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Austin Matthews has a goal in 8 of his last 10 games. And John Tavares has at least 4 shots on goal in 10 of his last 11 games for the Leafs. For the Kings, Adrian Kempe has a point in 4 straight games, at least 3 shots on goal in 4 of his last 5. And Kopitar has a point in 7 of his last 9 for the Kings. So if you're looking at players to get points, I'd look at the top line for the Kings, the top line for the Leafs, and then Tavares to shoot the puck on the net and get shots. Plus 150. Okay, that's better. That's really good for Canucks money line and the over 5.5. I like that. Kings money line, David Riddick. Is Riddick confirmed? Is that what you're saying? I don't see any confirmation yet, so we'll have to see. Samsonov and overs were so good for our betting bankroll. Yeah, but unfortunately, not so good for Leafs winning. So the Leafs organization said, bye-bye. Good luck, Sammy. Get well soon. Yes, for sure. Overtime, a great bet. Second period over, a solid leg. All right. What is up with the Kings' regression and their poor play at home? I'm not sure, but kind of like the Leafs, both of these teams play much better on the road for whatever reason. And obviously, usually it's the opposite. So that's kind of weird. But we'll head into our final game of the night, which Turnsy's definitely waiting for. We've got the Detroit Red Wings plus 175 to plus 185. San Jose Sharks plus 150 to plus 160. 6.5s right across the board here in this one. And looking at this game, no single plays for me. I do like Detroit to win this game. I like Detroit money line as a parlay piece. I also like Detroit team total over. 3.5 would be a good parlay piece as well. I think it's out of my price range when it comes to single play. Minus 135 is my cutoff. But this Detroit team is scoring goals. They are scoring a ton of goals, but they're not stopping anything, and that's why they're struggling to win. 5-3 in their last game, loss against Boston. 5-4 win against Nashville, the game before that. 6-3 loss against Minnesota. 3-2 loss against the Devils, and a 7-6 shootout win against the Flyers. They've been winning games. The reason why I can't take the over in this one is because despite Detroit giving up a ton of goals, the Sharks team 3-1 loss in their last game against Colorado, 5-0 loss the game before that, 5-1 loss the game before that. So the Sharks have scored 2 goals total during their last 3 games. But if you look at their last 5 games, 5 goals, 7 goals, 5 goals, 5 goals, 3 goals. I like Detroit to score goals in this one. So I would look at Detroit money line as a parlay piece, Detroit team total over as well. Looking at player props, DeBrincat has an assist in 5 straight games. He has at least 3 shots on goal in 6 of his last 7, 10 of his last 12 games for the Red Wings. Dylan Larkin has a point in 11 of his last 14. And Patrick Kane has a point in 6 of his last 7. He also has at least 3 shots on goal in 4 of his last 5. JT Compher has a point in 4 of his last 5 for the Wings. So DeBrincat assist and 3 shots on goal. Larkin point, Kane 3 shots on goal, and Compher point. I like the Red Wings to do a bunch of scoring here in this one. Not sure if the game ends up going over. This could potentially be a game for the Wings to not allow a lot of goals for once. When it comes to goalies, nobody confirmed. It should be Alex Lyon versus Kaapo Kähkönen, but nobody confirmed yet in this one. Detroit has scored 4+ in every win. Team total over 3.5 is, it's only minus 115. Wow. Okay. Well, I may have to pull the trigger on that then after the show. I didn't know it was that good of a price. Wings money line and minus 1.5 to DeBrincat goal, Kane point. I like it. Blackwood was recently ill, possibly with flu bug. This game should go over because Detroit can't keep the puck out of the net, but you like Detroit team total over 3. Yeah, I agree. Detroit kind of needs this win badly to stay in the wild card hunt. And this should be a game they should win, but they lost to the Sharks earlier on in the year, which was, I believe, a 6-5 win. Yeah, 6-5 overtime loss for Detroit. So they found goals in that game. I hope they do again here in this one. Thank you everyone for watching. Record number of viewers at one point during the show. Thanks a lot. Everyone hit the like and subscribe button. As I said, if you want a link to my spreadsheet, the link is in the description below. So you can take a look at different parlay pieces I like. I also have sides, and you can take a look at players that are on their hot streaks. You can take a look at all that. I'm not sure if there'll be a show tomorrow, only 2 games, and I'm not really too big of a fan of them overall, so I'm not sure if there'll be a show, but if there isn't, you can find out what I like in the spreadsheet in the description below. So best of luck to everybody today. Sharks weak penalty kill. Yeah, Sharks weak everything. They're just weak. No longer, their hot streak is long gone. Larkin point, I like it as well. Thanks, Terry. Best of luck to all. Yes, best of luck to everybody. And we'll see you again for another episode. Get a Wild with Terry and Friends. Great show. Good luck. Thanks, Addison. Best of luck, everyone. We'll see you again. Thanks, guys.